سیمای آزادی با تام کلینتاک، عضو کمیتهٔ قضایی کنگره آمریکا از حزب جمهوری خواه.
Thank you so much, Congressman. Can you summarize the key point discussed in today's event regarding the fall of Assad's regime and its potential impact on the Middle East?
Well, I think we can all sense that the end is nearing for the Iranian dictatorship, and the fall of the Syrian dictatorship is a milestone in these developments. I believe that we could see the Iranian regime begin to fall in rapid order with the defeats of Hezbollah and its other proxies. I think that Iran's dictators have run their course, and with the new administration in Washington, they're no longer going to be propped up by this country. I think they're going to have to stand on their own and face the Iranian people, whose grievances are vast, and I believe justice is coming.
Thank you, Congressman. What are the immediate policy changes you foresee for U.S. foreign policy in response to the Iranian regime in 2025?
Well, first of all, I think this administration is going to fully enforce the sanctions against the regime. I think that the days of sending cash on cargo pallets, as we've done in the past, is over. This regime is not going to be propped up by either economic or diplomatic movement from Washington. And I think that increasing pressure is going to be brought upon the regime, both by our country and others interested in restoring the freedom of the people of Iran.
Thank you. Mrs. Maryam Rajavi today presented and discussed the path for change in Iran by the people of Iran. Can you give us your view on that?
Yes, I think that Madam Rajavi is spot on in her analysis and her commitment to see a very rapid transition of power back to the people of Iran and a representative government.
And my last question, what is your message to Iranian people who are going to see your interview today?
Well, I think we can all sense that events are moving very rapidly now, and I believe if they continue within the next year, we will see the liberation of Iran, we will see the restoration of freedom and prosperity and justice for the Iranian people, and I think we're going to have quite a celebration in Tehran a year from now.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
مصاحبه سیمای آزادی با جودیچو، نماینده کنگره آمریکا از حزب دموکرات.
Congresswoman, one of the requests that the Organization of Iranian American Community had on their message today was to basically request to establish a special envoy on the human rights issue of Iran. With the recent increase of the executions in Iran under the current president of Iran, what would be your message regarding the human rights, and what do you think that the global community should do regarding this issue?
Well, we should definitely stand up for human rights. We know that the Iranian regime has been very brutal in terms of people who are standing up for everything from Masa Amini to the issues of today. And so, yes, we should certainly have entities that will look into human rights and speak out about them. Well, I think that in general, we need to build a bipartisan future in Congress that will support the freedom of people in Iran. And I certainly support any efforts that will go towards that and will make sure that the people of Iran can have the democracy that they so deserve.
And my last question, what would be your message to the Iranian people inside Iran who would watch your interview on Iranian TV, in Simay Azadi?
I want to tell them that there are people in the United States that support your desire for democracy, and we just hope to see this support grow in the United States as more and more people see the potential for a democratic Iran. Then I think we can make progress and make sure that the rights of the Iranian people are upheld.
مصاحبه سیمای آزادی با رانی جکسون، عضو کمیته خارجی کنگره آمریکا از حزب جمهوری خواه.
Congressman, how does the fall of Assad's regime alter the geopolitical landscape in the region, particularly in relation to Iran?
Well, I think it's a big game changer, and the Iranians are no longer going to have access to move weapons and export their means of terror through the country of Syria into other parts of the Middle East, Lebanon in particular. So I think that it's going to have a big impact. It really neuters Iran's efforts to wreak havoc in the Middle East, and I think that long term, hopefully Syria can get stabilized, and the people in Syria can live in peace, and that's what we want for the people in Iran as well. We want them to be able to live, as I've said before, in a free, democratic, non-nuclear, peaceful country where they can prosper and be part of the global community.
In what ways should the United States adjust its stance toward Iran, given the new dynamic that we are seeing in the Middle East, after the fall of Assad?
Well, I think that what you'll see from President Trump is a complete intolerance of what's been going on. As I mentioned before, I said in here, I was trying not to be too partisan about this, but I think that the current administration has adopted a policy of just kind of look the other way and ignore or turn a blind eye to what's been happening in Iran for a long time now, whether that's, the oil that they're selling to make the regime rich and wealthy, the terror to wreak havoc and bring terror to peaceful communities. I think that there's going to be a complete intolerance of that. President Trump is going to hold the Iranian regime accountable. They are going to be responsible for their actions, and I think that that's going to lead to the overthrow of the Iranian regime.